right, well, you heard Chris Olm, our public address announcer, make the announcement. Let's play ball, and we are about to do that opening round game here in the Class C State Baseball Tournament from Waconia. 3 sites being used for this tournament: Waconia, Chaska, and Hamburg. Got a full slate of games today here at Lions Field in Waconia. Beautiful day for baseball. The wind is blowing a little bit. Looks like it's blowing in from center field, maybe a little in from right. So we're going to take quite a poke to get one out of this ballpark today, but we did see some balls clear the fence yesterday, and hopefully these teams will bring their hitting shoes today, and we'll have some good baseball to bring you here on PrepSpotlight.tv. So as Union Hill takes the mound and gets their warm-up pitches in, we'll be back with the starting lineups and the first pitch for you from Waconia after this timeout.
Amateur baseball is one of Minnesota's great sporting traditions. The state tournament brings together hundreds of communities in late summer at great ballparks all around the state. Coverage of every game can be found on PrepSpotlight.tv. PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of today's state tournament game is made possible by the Minnesota Baseball Association, and also with help from the Minnesota Twins. Celebrate Townball with the Twins on September 11th. Visit twinsbaseball.com/townball for details. Now let's get to the ballpark.
So it's Conrad Massberg towing the rubber for Union Hill. Union Hill is located about 5 miles out of New Prague, about 35 miles from Waconia here. So they'll come up and take on the Kimball Express out of Kimball, St. Cloud area. Kimball was able to get out of their region and advance to this state tournament, as was Union Hill. And Massberg will face Austin Ruley, the left fielder. Tommy Friesen, the right fielder, bats second. Jordan Joseph, the shortstop, will bat third. Ben Johnson, the pitcher, bats fourth. Scott Morcourt plays second base, bats fifth, and the first pitch is right in there for a called strike. Adam Byer plays first base, bats sixth. Cade Marquardt, the catcher, bats seventh. Zach Dingman, the designated hitter, will bat eighth. And Brooke Marquardt, the center fielder, will bat ninth. So 3 Marquardts, a third of the lineup, made up of Marquardts. A high chopper to third base. It's fielded and scooped out of the dirt. So Joe Becker made a nice play at third, tossed it over to Nate Lee. Nate Lee made a nice scoop over there at first base for Union Hill, and the first out is recorded. So a high chopper right off the front of the plate, off the bat of Austin Ruley. It took a good play from Becker to cut that ball off. Had to make a good, strong throw across the diamond. The umpire took a good long look, made sure that Lee scooped that ball out of the dirt, showed it to him, and the out call was made. So 1 away here, and as he did to Ruley, Marquardt fires in strike 1 to Tommy Friesen. Left-handed hitting right fielder for the Kimball Express. That one misses up and away. So even the count at a ball and a strike. As mentioned, the first of 4 ball games today here in Waconia, as Friesen fouls that one back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Kimball will come in here as the 3rd seed out of Region 11, while Union Hill is the number 2 seed out of Region 3. The winner of this one will advance to take on the Alexandria Black Sox next Saturday at 4:30 here in Waconia. Marquardt misses with that 1-2 offering, so now 2 balls, 2 strikes, and up and in to Friesen. So Friesen's got the count now full after falling behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. Worked his way back into a full count here as Tommy Friesen. And swing and a miss. So Marquardt comes back and gets Friesen with the swinging strike. And there's 2 down quickly here in the top half of the first inning for Kimball. Jordan Joseph, the shortstop, will step in. Right-handed batter. Joseph wears number 1. Went to high school at St. Michael Albertville and played his college ball at St. Cloud State University. And Marquardt spins one in that sends Joseph twirling out of the way, but able to avoid that one. Pitch stayed inside, so a little bit fooled by that breaking ball of Marquardt. Now that one misses up high, so after getting ahead of Rulli and Friesen with strike one, Marquardt now finds himself behind. 2 balls and no strikes to Joseph. Swing and a foul down the right field line. It's drifting, and the wind is going to push things that direction today. Looking at the flag, it kind of a swirling wind, but it definitely is blowing in from left field, center field, and going to push any ball from left to right. Definitely out of play, but any ball down that left field line certainly going to catch any hook spin. So the wind will definitely play a factor in this game this afternoon, and now a fastball misses high in the zone to Joseph. 3 balls and 1 strike for the shortstop from Kimball, trying to get a 2-out base runner here for the Express. Swing and a foul back to the screen, so a good cut at that 3-1 offering. Just missed it, fouled it right back to the screen. Once again, we go full, second consecutive batter now that has gone to a full count here for Marquardt and Kimball, and a ground ball that's gobbled up over there at first base by Lee. Got it on 1 hop. He'll take it to the bag himself. 3 unassisted is the put out, and 3 up and 3 down for Conrad Massberg. And Union Hill, I've been calling him Marquardt. That's my bad. It's Conrad Massberg as the starting pitcher. Too many Marquardts in that Kimball lineup. I had that on my mind. But it's Conrad Massberg who toes the rubber for Union Hill Bulldogs in this one. He sets down the Kimball Express 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning, and it will be the Union Hill Bulldogs coming up for their turn in the bottom half of the first. They'll start it off with Joe Becker, the third baseman. Batting second is that pitcher, Conrad Massberg. Batting third, the shortstop, Nathan Berg. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Nate Lee. Batting fifth, center fielder, Adam Geeson. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Jack Kreutzen. Batting seventh is the second baseman, Jacob Becker. Batting eighth, the catcher, Jack Geeson. And the left fielder, number 1, Derek Massberg, will bat number 9 in the order. And we'll be back with that bottom half of the first inning for you as Ben Johnson takes his warm-up pitches back to Waconia after this.
Nobody does high school sports like PrepSpotlight.tv. Your home for Minnesota State tournament action is also where you can find the best weekly action during the regular season in 2021. We make it easy to be a high school sports fan at PrepSpotlight.tv.
That first offering from Johnson to Joe Becker misses outside. Becker, the third baseman, made a good play on that first ball in the top half of the inning defensively, so he'll come in and try to get things going for the Union Hill Bulldogs here, who have a very nice crowd. A lot of red here in the stands today, cheering on these Union Hill Bulldogs. As foul back and out of play, evens the count at 1-1. Now there's a fastball that rides in on the hands of Becker. A little inside-out swing there, shoots it fouled on that first baseline. So now after falling behind with the first offering, Johnson has come back to get 2 strikes and really reaches back for something there and misses up high. So Johnson, good pop on the fastball. How he goes down low, a little submarine, and a fabulous catch made right back, right in front of us here. Little Willie Mays style basket catch by the catcher, Cade Marquardt. There's plenty of room back behind home plate here in foul territory all around this field, but especially around behind home plate. So any balls that get past catchers will certainly allow base runners to move up, but right there, Marquardt took advantage of that room, came back to the screen, squared up, and then made that basket catch for the first out against Joe Becker of the Bulldogs. First pitch to Conrad Massberg is inside with a curve, and then a foul back to the screen and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. One thing that I have really noticed and tip my hat to here is all the games that we've seen so far, these pitchers really like to work quickly. As Massberg gets a little chuckle from the crowd as that ball hit in exactly the same spot as the last one did, just on the facade of the overhang here, and bounced back into play. So 2 consecutive swings result in 2 balls hitting in virtually the same spot of the overhang here at Lions Park in our Lions Field in Waconia. And what a beautiful setting for baseball this is. Good covering for the fans, or if you want to go down the line a little bit and catch some sun, you can do that as Massberg goes after a high fastball, swings through it. So Johnson has his first strikeout of the game. It's his counterpart, Conrad Massberg, who goes down swinging, and now it's quickly 2 away. As I was mentioning, we had a couple of games yesterday, and boy, these pitchers, they get that ball and they are ready to go. That's really speeds the game up. It's good for these fans. I think that's kind of what town ball is all about. It's fun to come out to the ballpark and see the game moving along quickly, sit on a beautiful night at a beautiful park and watch some good baseball. Last thing you want to do is see things dawdling around and slowing the game down, but from what we've seen so far in this tournament, these pitchers get that ball and they want to work. Nathan Berg steps in, and Johnson's missed with his first 2 offerings, so 2 balls and no strikes to Berg, and a good cut at that 2-0 fastball, and he fouls it right back to the screen in front of us here. 2 balls and 1 strike. So both pitchers doing a good job of trying to stay ahead in the count. Johnson now goes down low, so he really changes that delivery point. He did that with an off-speed curveball to Massberg. Now this time he dropped down and fired a fastball on the outside corner. Does it again, and a strikeout of Berg. So he falls behind 2-0, but then 3 consecutive strikes, and Ben Johnson sets down Union Hill in order, just as Conrad Massberg did to the Kimball Express in the top of the inning. So we're through 1 here. 6 up and 6 down through the first inning, and it'll be Union Hill 4, 5, and 6. Or I'm sorry, Kimball with 4, 5, and 6. Johnson, Marquardt, Scott, and Adam Byer in the top half of the second inning. Back with it for you after this quick timeout.
Celebrate the end of the 2021 Town Ball season. Join your teammates, rivals, and ball fans from around the state at the Twins game on September 11th. Special ticket pricing for Town Ball players and fans. Salutes to the newly crowned champs and a very fun night at the ballpark. Order your tickets at twinsbaseball.com/townball and wear your town's team colors to Target Field on September 11th.
And so Ben Johnson steps in, takes a curveball from Massberg that just stays inside. So we'll see if Massberg can return the favor. Johnson struck out Massberg as the second batter in the bottom half of the first inning. Now Massberg will face Johnson, but he misses with these first two offerings, so Johnson heading the count, catches the outside corner at the letters for a strike on that third offering. So 2 balls and 1 strike now to Ben Johnson. Ground ball up the middle. Diving stop is made. Twirling throw and got him at first. Gold star play there by Nathan Berg. He dove to his left, had to get up quickly, did the spinorama, threw a 1-hop throw over to Nate Lee, who got that hop chest high, pulled it in, and they got Johnson on a good play by the shortstop Nathan Berg for out number 1 of the top half of the second inning. And the next batter, number 5 hitter, Scott Marquardt, the second baseman, takes the first pitch high. And there's a strike right down Broadway. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Marquardt, the number 5 hitter. First 4 Kimball batters have gone down in order, but definitely some help behind him for Conrad Massberg. As the third baseman, Becker, and the shortstop, Berg, have both made excellent plays in the field behind. Now a swing and a miss, 1-2, curveball, chopped foul. Down third base line. Stay right here at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Massberg also works quickly. There's a ground ball. That one's going to get past Becker on out into right field. So our first hit and our first base runner of the game is Scott Marquardt. He went the opposite way with that 1-2 pitch and grounded it into right field for a base hit. So for the first time, we'll see either one of these pitchers working from the stretch. After setting down the first 4 in order, now Massberg will have to work from the stretch for the first time. Catches the letters with a fastball to Adam Byer, the first baseman. Not much of a lead over there at first base. And here's a ground ball. That's eludes the glove of both Becker and Berg into left field. So a couple of consecutive seeing eye singles for the Kimball Express has given them 2 base runners here with 1 out in the top half of the first inning. So our first real threat of the game belongs to the Kimball Express. And Cade Marquardt, the catcher, will step in, the number 7 hitter in the order. He'll have Scott Marquardt out there at second and Adam Byer at first. 1 away here. Top half of the second inning. We're scoreless. And a strike in. So Massberg working from the stretch for the first time. Gets strike 1 to Marquardt. Checks the runner at second. Curveball. Fouled back and out of play. Massberg might have got away with one there. That curveball kind of hung up in the strike zone. And Marquardt looked to take that one the opposite way, but just fouled it back and out of play. So at no balls and 2 strikes, I would think Massberg's going to want to be a little more careful here. He goes way upstairs trying to get Marquardt to chase. Nothing doing for the catcher of Kimball, but 1 ball and 2 strikes now. They continue to check that runner again. Marquardt shoots one, foul down that right field line. So it looks like Marquardt's plan here is to try to take Massberg to the opposite field. He got a hanging curveball, which normally you want to turn on and pull that ball hard. He tried to shoot that one to right field, and then that fastball on the outside corner, he went to the opposite field with, again, fouling one back to the screen. So we got a nice battle brewing here. 3 consecutive foul balls off the bat of Cade Marquardt against Conrad Massberg of Union Hill. He's pitching for the first time with runners on base here. Runners are at first and second. Couple of seeing eye singles. One between the first baseman and the second baseman. Now here's another ground ball. This could be two. Berg steps on the base, but his throw is too high, and that's going to allow a base runner to come in and score. So Berg fielded that ball not far from the base. He took it himself. Had the chance to turn the double play, but his throw sailed over the head of the first baseman, Nate Lee, and out of play, which is going to allow Marquardt the opportunity to move up to second base. And on the play, coming in to score from third base is Scott Marquardt with our first run of the game. So it'll be an error charged to the shortstop Berg on the errant throw on the attempted double play that allows the first run of the game and Scott Marquardt to touch home plate. And Kimball leads this one now 1-0. Cade Marquardt moved up to second base on the errant throw, and Zach Dingman, the designated hitter, will step in. The left-handed batter takes a strike. That one runs away off the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike now. Kimball Express strike first here in the top half of the second inning. Couple of hits and then aided by a throwing error from Berg allows that first run of the game to score, and a high fastball. Dingman can't catch up to that one. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's trying to pick up Cade Marquardt from second, who's got a heck of a lead out there. Asperg takes a good long look at him, and now that backdoor curveball just misses off the outside corner. A little bit of reaction from the partisan Union Hill Bulldog crowd here at Lions Field in Waconia. Now a check swing, and it's a called strike 3. So even if he didn't go, the umpire stood up and punched out Dingman for the third out, but not before the Kimball Express are able to get on the board first. They take a 1-0 lead and will head to the bottom of the second. Ben Johnson will head back out to the mound, and he'll face 4, 5, and 6. Nate Lee, Adam Geeson, and Jack Kreutzen for Union Hill when we return to Waconia after this timeout.
All summer long, you have gathered with friends, neighbors, and family at ball yards all across Minnesota.
Still going, gone, a home run.
Diamonds that decorate and help define hundreds of communities. Town Ball binds together our passion for baseball in our hometowns. And on September 11th, the cornerstone of Minnesota baseball, Target Field, will host a party for all those who play, watch, and support Town Ball. The Twins host the Royals at 6:10 p.m. Prior to the game, the newly crowned state amateur champs will be honored at the Town Ball Tavern and during a pregame ceremony. Wear your team colors and enjoy a special night at Target Field.
The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3! Fairmont, state champions in 2020.
To the Fairmont Martins. They are your 2020.
For tickets to the Twins' Tip of the Cap to Town Ball on September 11th, visit twinsbaseball.com/townball.
All right, and Nate Lee steps in for Union Hill, number 4 hitter. First pitch is a called strike, and then Johnson misses at the next 2 offerings. There's a line drive out in right center field. Cutting over it off, but not being able to get there in time is the center fielder, Brooks Marquardt, and that falls in for a base hit. So Nate Lee took that one, shot it out into right center Brooks Marquardt gave chase, but was unable to get there in time. And we've got our first base runner for Union Hill. Lee with the leadoff single here in the bottom half of the second inning, and it'll be Adam Geeson, the center fielder, who'll step in. Pushes one out in front. Johnson will handle it, but on the play, up to second. On the sacrifice bunt by Geeson. They do get the runner to second base. So the tying run is now out there in scoring position. So the sacrifice will go 1-3 for Geeson. Does a good job. Laid that bunt down the first base line. Johnson got off the mound quickly and made the play, but the sacrifice was executed, and they moved that runner up into potential scoring position out there at second base. And Nate Lee and Jack Kreutzen steps in and takes a fastball on the outside corner. And Johnson, good pop on that fastball, challenges him right there. That looked like fastball pitcher against fastball hitter, and Johnson won that battle. Johnson, the veteran, 33 years old. So we're going to foul back to the screen. Went to Malacca High School. Played at St. Cloud State University. So Kimball turns to the KG veteran in the opening game of the state tournament here. Still plenty of good pop on that fastball from Johnson. Chopper fouled on the right field line. Johnson, a little bit of a herky-jerky type of a delivery. A lot going on, and then all of a sudden that ball is on top of you. And it's got a lot of arm movement, especially even working from the stretch here. Now he drops down, jams Kreutzen. One hopper is fielded by Johnson. So Johnson likes to do that, especially when he gets a couple of strikes. He drops down, goes to that sidearm delivery. We've seen him throw the curveball with it, but their fastball that just busted in on the hands of Kreutzen. All he could do is try to fight it off and hit a little one-hopper to the left of Johnson, and he pounced on that one. Easy toss over to Byer. On the play, Nate Lee does move up a base to third. As we talked about, tons of room back behind home plate here, so anything gets by the catcher here should be no problem for Nate Lee to score on the wild pitch. Now a curveball hangs up and inside to Jacob Becker. He ducks out of the way of that one after the first pitch missed away. So 2 balls and no strikes as Becker with 2 outs trying to pick up Nate Lee from third base and tie this game up. And there's a foul ball right straight back off the face mask of the umpire. Spins it around in his head, but as most umpires will do, never let him see you sweat. He puts that mask right back on, and I always like to see this. You'll see it if a catcher gets hit, the umpire will walk the ball out to the mound and give the catcher an opportunity to collect himself. And right here, Cade Marquardt does the same thing for the home plate umpire who just got hit right in the face mask. He walks out to talk to the pitcher to give the umpire just a little bit more time to collect himself. So nice to see those catchers and umpires working together like that to make sure that they're both in condition, ready for play. 3 balls and 1 strike. It also doesn't hurt that maybe you make friends with that home plate umpire and that close call goes your way instead of the other way. So Marquardt doing the job there, but both of the next pitches missed off the outside corner, so no chance to get a call from the home plate umpire there. Those were well outside, so The walk to Byer now puts runners at the corners with 2 away, and the catcher Jack Geeson will step in now. Has an opportunity with 2 outs here. Try to answer the run that Kimball put on the board in the top of the first with at least one of their own here in the top of the second. Get one at least here back in their half of the second. Curveball hangs up high there. Geeson watched that one right into the glove of Cade Marquardt. Ball 1. Becker. Short lead over at first. Same with Lee at third. Off-speed pitch in there for a called strike. So you could tell that Geeson would have loved to have pulled the trigger on that one, but he just got out in front, so it was probably a good take. If he swings at that one, probably just going to roll that one over to shortstop or third base. So good job of taking that pitch. Now here's a chopper to short. Going to be a tough play. Charging. Run, throw on the run is a good one across the diamond by Joseph over to Byer. And Johnson and the Kimball Express are able to work their way out of a first and third 2-out jam in the bottom half of the second inning. And we'll go to the third with Kimball holding a 1-0 lead over Union Hill. Fans, the state amateur tournaments are now in full swing. The Class B, C tournaments will be played out over the next 3 weeks in Waconia, Chaska, and Hamburg. Get out and support your community, or if you just love the game of baseball and want to watch win or go home games at fantastic venues, there is nothing like tournament time. If you can't make it to the games, PrepSpotlight.tv/townball has packages that will make watching all the venues very affordable. Enjoy the tournament at the park or right here on PrepSpotlight.tv. We have 16 first-round games here. So you got 32 teams participating in the first round, and then you have 16 teams that received a bye into the second round. All of the top seeds from each section get a first-round bye, and will face the winners of these play-in games, if you will. Today, it's Union Hill. They were the 2 seed out of Region 3, and Kimball the 3rd seed out of Region 11, and there's a shot right back up the middle by Brooks Marquardt. First pitch swinging, he just drilled one right back from where it came and into center field for a base hit. So Brooks Marquardt, the number 9 hitter, turns around the offering from Conrad Massberg and gets things going for Kimball with a leadoff single and turn the order over to Austin Ruley. He squares to bunt, pulls back, takes it for a called strike. A lot of movement on the infield there. Charging from third was Joe Becker. Heading over to cover first base from his second base spot was Jacob Becker. Nate Lee kind of came halfway in, but Ruley pulled the bat back. Now he bunts one up the first base line. It's a good one. Massberg is not going to have a play, so it's going to be a bunt single for Ruley. An excellently placed bunt that just hugged the grass just inside that first base line. And by the time Massberg was able to get off the rubber and chase that one down, it was basically a race between the ball and Ruley. And Ruley won that race, getting to the bag before Massberg could make a play on the ball. So a base hit on the attempted sacrifice bunt for Ruley. Now we're going to get another bunt, and this time it's Tommy Friesen, and he kind of jabs at it, sends it back to the screen. So not quite the same execution on that attempted bunt by Friesen. That Austin Ruley, his perfectly placed bunt down that first base line, beat it out, and now runners are at first and second. Friesen attempted to move him up. He was looking to bunt that ball down the third base line. That's where you want to bunt that ball in this situation, and he does. It's a good one. Massberg, soft toss, just gets Friesen. So Massberg did not put a lot of mustard on that throw over to Becker, covering at first base and hustling down the line. Tommy Friesen almost beat that one out, but he does the job. Well executed bunt. As we mentioned, you want to get that ball over towards third base. It might seem counterproductive to bunt it towards third where you're trying to move that runner up, but you want that third baseman to either have to come and field that ball or to make that pitcher go over and field that ball and let that runner just get all the way over there to third base. Might be a race between the third baseman and the runner, and in this case the smart play by Massberg, just take your out at first. But the execution of the sacrifice bunt does get two runners in scoring position for the number 3 hitter, Jordan Joseph, who takes a strike and then fouls one out of play off to the right. So ahead in the count is Conrad Massberg at 0-2 to Joseph here. So 3 and 4 hitters for Kimball with runners out there in scoring position, second and third. And once again, this puts a lot of pressure on the catcher here, Jack Geeson. Anything gets past him here, there's really little chance that you're going to throw somebody out trying to advance a base due to all the room. Now just sticking the bat out and shooting one down the right field line, and that wind that we talked about that's blowing that direction is going to push that further and further foul. Kreutzen gave chase, but no chance to catch up to that one. So just kind of spoil the pitcher's pitch there by Joseph. Stay alive. Try to get a better hitter's pitch on the next one. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to the number 3 hitter in the order for Kimball, and he gets a good pitch to hit. Flies it to shallow right. We could have a play at the plate here. Right fielder Kreutzen catches it. Here's the throw. It's not in time. And the sacrifice fly off the bat of Jordan Joseph scores Brooke Marquardt with the second run of the game. And good execution by the Kimball Express to manufacture a run there. They got a leadoff single, bunted him up to second, and it was such a good bunt that Austin Ruley was able to get a base hit out of it. Then a sacrifice bunt and a sacrifice fly results in another run for the Express, and it's 2-0 now for Kimball in the top half of the third inning. Kreutzen didn't get behind that ball at all. He actually made the catch kind of leaning backwards. As an outfielder, you want to get behind the ball and catch that ball coming in so your momentum on your throw can help you get a stronger throw to the plate. And I think that was probably the difference in that play. Had Kreutzen got behind that ball, made the catch coming in, I think he could have put a stronger throw and it would have been a much closer play on Brooks Marquardt, but instead he had to kind of regain his balance and make that throw to the plate. And Brooks Marquardt was able to beat the throw and score the second run of the game for Kimball. Now Ben Johnson comes in. 1 ball, 2 strikes as that curveball just missed off the outside corner. And now here's a ground ball to Hopper. Down to a knee to get it is Becker. He's up, throws out Johnson. And that'll end the top half of the third inning for the Kimball Express, but not before they put another run up on the board. Extend this lead out to 2-0. And they will turn it back over to Ben Johnson, who will face the number 9 hitter, Derek Massberg, and then Becker and Conrad Massberg, the numbers 1 and 2 hitters in the order for Union Hill as they try to come back from a 2-run deficit here in the bottom half of the third inning. And we'll be back with it for you after this short break.
Town Ball Tour. Head to the small towns and tell people what it's all about.
A lot of excitement. Weather is fantastic.
This place has been here since the early 80s.
This is a baseball town.
The town is here. The kids are here. It's safe. It's a wonderful environment.
We certainly met some wonderful characters.
Thanks for joining us for another season of Fox 9's Town Ball Tour.
As we mentioned, lots of games going on around WHC, Waconia, Chaska, and Hamburg. These first-round matchups, we've seen a number of teams already advance. The Sobieski Skis advanced in their game. They'll take on the number 1 seed Isanti Redbirds. Dumont here at 4:30 in Waconia beat Richmond. They will take on the Loretto Larks next weekend. Carver, another Carver County team, knocked out Bird Island Lake Lillian. They'll play the Bluffton Braves in this second-round matchup. The Sartell Muskies got a victory over the Hutchinson Huskies, so it was the Muskies over the Huskies, and they will take on the Wanamingo Jacks in the next round. Luxembourg Brewers able to knock off the St. Benedict Saints. They'll play the Ada Athletics. Watertown Red Devils in one of the best nickname games of the tournament. The Watertown Red Devils knocked off the Midway Snurdbirds and will take on the Avon Lakers as Derek Massberg squares to bunt and bunts through it on the first offering from Johnson. So one strike. There's a curve ball that hooks right in from Johnson. So ahead in the count, 0-2. Spring Hill was able to knock off Delano. They'll take on the New Ulm Brewers. A swing and a miss by Massberg and a strikeout for Johnson. That's his third strikeout of the game. Massberg going to chase something out of the zone there at 0-2. And Bemidji has moved on. They beat New Prague yesterday here in Waconia, and they'll take on the Milroy Yankees next weekend here in Waconia. There's a chopper, tough play, good play on the hop, gathers himself, and Michael Hoffman makes the throw across to Beyer. And on one pitch, Joe Becker is retired. So it was a tough hop for Michael Hoffman, the third baseman, but he handled it well. Kind of handcuffed him a little bit, but he was able to gather it, did a good job of setting himself, and then made a strong throw over to Beyer at first for the second out of the inning. So quickly 2 away here in the bottom half of the third, and Conrad Massberg will try to get something going for the Union Hill Bulldogs with 2 away here. First pitch misses away, and then that one's down low. Marquardt's return throw slides underneath the glove of Johnson and out towards shortstop, but they'll quickly retrieve that and get it back in. Well, you don't like to see that, especially when your pitcher's in a good rhythm like Johnson is right now. I'm sure Marquardt's not happy with that throw back to him that kind of gets him off his rhythm a little bit. But he comes right back with a strike, so Johnson picks up his catcher at 2 balls, no strikes, and fires a fastball past Conrad Massberg. A good swing at it. Now backdoor curveball comes right across the plate. So certainly no effect. Johnson's not off of his rhythm at all. He'd come back with 2 strikes. Now he'll drop down sidearm again, but that one runs away from Massberg and outside. So now we go full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Johnson, the Massberg, and he fouls one out of play down the left field line. Stay right here at 3 balls and 2 strikes. At least Massberg making Johnson work a little bit here. The first 2 outs were recorded on just 4 pitches in this inning. And now another foul back to the screen. So Marquardt making Johnson work, getting 2 outs and 4 pitches, now has thrown 7 pitches to Marquardt, or to Massberg here. And a little chopper, Hoffman on the hop, the throw on the run, another good play. So we've seen some excellent fielding from both of these infields here in this one, but it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Johnson and the Kimball Express, and right back into the dugout. It'll be Scott Marquardt, Adam Beyer, and Cade Marquardt for the Kimball Express when we return to Waconia after this. Timeout on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Amateur baseball is one of Minnesota's great sporting traditions. The state tournament brings together hundreds of communities in late summer at great ballparks all around the state. Coverage of every game can be found on PrepSpotlight.tv. PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of today's state tournament game is made possible by the Minnesota Baseball Association, and also with help from the Minnesota Twins. Celebrate Townball with the Twins on September 11th. Visit twinsbaseball.com/townball for details. Now let's get to the ballpark.
That first pitch, curveball into Scott Marquardt, just misses off the inside corner. Massberg out there for his fourth inning of work. Gets curveball in, so 1-1. Now fastball right in for strike two to Scott Marquardt. Marquardt singled and scored the first run of the game for Kimball in the top half of the second inning, but swings and misses at a curveball there. Geeson puts the tag on Marquardt, but Marquardt had given himself up and was headed back to the dugout. So good curveball from Massberg there. Got Marquardt to chase out of the zone. And the first strikeout, or first out of the inning number 4 is a strikeout of Marquardt. And there's a curveball in for a strike, so good command of that curveball here in the top half of the fourth inning for Conrad Massberg. Been able to get it for strikes, get ahead in the count, and he was able to locate it very well down and out of the zone, and the 1-2 offering to Marquardt and got him to chase. Now gets ahead of Adam Byer, 0-2 as Byer chops one foul down the third base line. That'll be played over there in the coaching box and get it back in play. So we're ready to go. And once again, another off-speed curveball out of the zone is chased by Byer. Geeson again picks it up, puts the tag on the batter. So consecutive strikeouts here to start the top half of the fourth inning. Strikeouts number 3 and 4 for Massberg, and he was able to get both Scott Marquardt and Adam Byer to chase that curveball out of the zone. Now he busts a fastball in on the hands of Cade Marquardt. It was Marquardt who hit that ground ball up the middle that was fielded by Berg, but then Berg on the attempted throw to complete the double play threw it over the head of Nate Lee and allowed our first run of the game to be scored on the throwing air. Strike on the outside corner, 2-0, so now 2 balls and 1 strike. So an efficient inning so far. Line drive out into right field. That's going to drift its way over towards the right fielder, Kreutzen. He is under it and makes the catch. So Massberg and Union Hill match the efficient inning that Johnson and Kimball put in the bottom half of the third with the efficient 3 up, 3 down top half of the fourth. And we're through 3.5. Kimball leads it 2-0, and we'll be back to Waconia after this short timeout.
Nobody does high school sports like PrepSpotlight.tv. Your home for Minnesota State tournament action is also where you can find the best weekly action during the regular season in 2021. We make it easy to be a high school sports fan at PrepSpotlight.tv.
right, Johnson will face 3, 4, and 5. Berg, Lee, and Geeson. Here in the fourth. Kimball, 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Union Hill, no runs, 1 hit, and that one costly error that cost him a run in the top half of the second inning. 2 balls and 1 strike as that pitch goes inside. Now Johnson misses away. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Union Hill would love to get that leadoff runner on here in the bottom half of the fourth. But Johnson comes back with a strike. It's fouled back to the screen. So Berg had a good cut at that 3-1 offering and just missed it, fouling it right straight back to the screen. We go full here, 3-2. And a swing and a miss and a good fastball coming from Johnson. Strikeout number 4 on the game for Johnson. So both Masberg and Johnson with 4 strikeouts here through 4 innings, 3 1/3 for Johnson. But first out is recorded via the strikeout. And a curveball just misses inside. A good snap on that curveball today from Johnson. Then when he gets ahead in the count, he likes to change that delivery point. He'll drop down sidearm and run something in on the right-hander or away from the left-handers as catches the outside corner with that one. Lee wasn't real happy with that call, thought that one missed outside, but the benefit of the call goes to Johnson. Good late movement on that breaking ball from Johnson, and Lee just chops it foul. Just the 1 hit so far for Union Hill, and it does belong to Nate Lee, the batter in the batter's box. He lined one out into right center field. Made it as far as third, but Kimball was able to strand 2 runners. Now going upstairs again is Johnson to get the swinging strike against Nate Lee. So consecutive strikeouts for Johnson gives him 5 on the game now and 2 away. So just like Mossberg did to Kimball in the top half of the inning, Johnson strikes out the first 2 Union Hill batters, and now at a first pitch he drops down sidearm and fires that one in for a strike. So you never really know when Johnson's going to change that delivery point. Right there early in the count. A little looping liner and a sliding catch is made out there at second base by Scott Marquardt. He picks that ball up, shows it to the umpire. So another quick, efficient inning for Johnson. That's 7 in a row set down by Ben Johnson. And we are through 4 innings of play, and the Kimball Express lead the Union Hill Bulldogs 2-0 here from Waconia. The state amateur tournaments are now in full swing. The Class B, C tournaments will be played out over the next 3 weeks in Waconia, Chaska, and Hamburg. Get out and support your community, or if you just love the game of baseball and want to watch win or go home games at fantastic venues, there is nothing like tournament time. If you can't make it to the games, prepspotlight.tv/townball has packages that will make watching all the venues very affordable. Enjoy the tournament at the park or right here on prepspotlight.tv. First pitch swinging. Chopper down the first baseline off the bat of Zach Dingman. That's handled by Nate Lee. He'll take it to the base himself. So 1 pitch one out here in the top half of the 5th inning. And that is 7 consecutive batters set down by Massburg. So both of these pitchers dealing a little bit. Now attempted bunt down the third baseline by Brooks Marquardt. And that one's just going to drift foul. Marquardt started off that 1-run bottom of the 3rd inning with an absolute line drive right back at Massburg into center field for a base hit. Now, first pitch, he tries to bunt it down the third base line, so he does have Joe Becker creeping in almost on the edge of the dirt, and he hits it right at him. Becker scoops it up, makes the throw across. Nate Lee picks that one off the top of the dirt. So 8 in a row now set down by Massburg. Since Marquardt and Rulli led off with singles, now granted 2 of those outs were productive outs for the Kimball Express as Frieson's sacrifice bunt moved the runners up a base to 2nd and 3rd, and then Jordan Joseph with a sacrifice RBI fly ball out into right field. Ooh, that one comes up, goes over the top of the head of Austin Rulli. Jumps out of the way. Rulli 1 for 2. Beautiful bunt single his last time up. Bunted it right up that first base line and basically just outran it to the base. Massburg fielded but had no play on Rulli. And now a little jam shot that's going to go just over the head of Lee down the right field line and fall in for a base hit. So Rulli got jammed on that one, but got just enough of it to lift it up and over the head of the first baseman Nate Lee and fall just inside that right field line on the grass. So it's a 2-out base runner for Kimball here. The left-hander Friesen up, leadoff hitter in Rulli at first. We'll keep an eye on him. This is definitely a time where you might try to steal a base here. Get that runner out in scoring position, especially now that Massburg has gotten ahead of Friesen. No balls and 1 strike. We'll see if on a 2-strike count, that for sure would be a running opportunity. Yep, Rulli goes. Pitch is outside. Good pitch to run on because it was an off-speed pitch. Geeson had to bring the ball a long ways from catching that off-speed pitch off the outside of the plate to his throwing hand. Rushed the throw a little bit. Sailed it over the top of the head of the second baseman, Becker covering, but Berg was back there to back it up nicely. So pitches a ball, 1-1. Friesen chops one back off the catcher, and as we talked about earlier, the umpire is going to saunter out, hand the baseball to the umpire, and give Geeson a little bit of time to collect himself. So returning the favor that Geeson gave to him, the umpire responds in kind by walking that baseball out to Massburg. Give Geeson a little bit of time. Yeah, stop and clean that plate off. Make sure that Geeson's ready for play. He says, I'm good. He's a catcher. He's tough. He's had that happen to him more than once in his career, I got to believe. So we're ready to go at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch misses just up and away. So 2-2 now to Tommy Friesen. He's got Austin Rulli out there at second base. A 2-out single and a stolen base by Rulli has him in potential scoring position. Swing at a backdoor breaking ball and fouls it back. So Friesen tried to stay back as long as he could on that breaking ball, but just got a piece of it and fouled it back to the screen, but he stays alive. Get another pitch here, 2-2. And that one drifts outside the zone, so now we go full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jordan Joseph waits on deck. He's a right-handed batter, and there is a base open at first. And a swing and a miss. And Massburg challenges. Tommy Friesen wins the battle. Strikes out Friesen for the 3rd out of the inning. They strand Austin Rulli out there at second base. So we're halfway through this one. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Kimball. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error for Union Hill. They'll try to see if they can do something about that in the bottom half of the 5th inning against Ben Johnson and the Kimball Express. And we'll be back to Waconia with that action for you after this. Timeout on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Download Magazines Fine Food app and enroll in the rewards program or that's Magazine.
What's special about high school sports? The passion. The excitement. The memories.
Now, a 3 in the buzzer. Go! It's good! You boys win it for the Rebels!
It's about impacting your community. Connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game. About high school sports. Passion. The excitement. The memories.
All right, sorry about that, fans. A little connectivity issue. We play here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Started with a called 3rd strikeout to Jack Kreutzen. And Jacob Becker hit a high chopper right back to the mound that Johnson handled. Threw him out at first, and then Jack Geeson in a long at bat after fouling off a couple of pitches, just getting the benefit of a call on a 2-strike offering that just missed off the inside corner, was able to draw a walk. So we got a runner at first, 2 away here. Derek Masberg is the batter. He's the left fielder. 1-1 count here, bottom half of the 5th. Kimball continues to lead this one 2-0. Single runs in the 2nd and 3rd. And a strike on the outside corner to Masberg. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We'll keep an eye on Geeson again. This could be a running count here. He goes, no, he holds up. And a chopper into left field for a base hit. So the 3rd baseman, Hoffman, made an attempt like he was going to go over and field the ball, but then he gave up on it. The shortstop, Jordan Joseph, threw the glove out, tried to get a glove on it, but he couldn't. It eluded him and went out into left field. So I think the 3rd baseman, Hoffman, probably had the best chance to field that ball, but for whatever reason, he gave up on it and watched it as it bounded past Joseph and into left field for a base hit. So the numbers 8 and 9 hitters in the order, Giesen and Massberg, get on board here for the top of the order, and Joe Becker. Becker takes a ball inside on the first offering. So Johnson, ground ball to second. Scooped up over there by Scott Marquardt. Soft toss over to Adam Byer, and again, the threat goes by the wayside for Union Hill. They get a couple of runners on, but they're unable to get a runner past second base. So it had been 9 in a row set down by Ben Johnson, but the walk to Giesen and the single by Massberg gave Union Hill 2 base runners for the second time today, but like he did in the second, Ben Johnson is able to strand those base runners out there at first and second base this time. They were at first and third back in the second, but he's able to get a weak ground ball out to second base off the bat of Joe Becker and get out of the inning unscathed and put another 0 up on the board for the Kimball Express. They lead this one 2-0. Top half of the 6th inning coming up. Conrad Massberg will head back out for his 6th inning of work. He'll face 3, 4, and 5. Joseph Johnson and Scott Marquardt when we're back to Waconia after this short break.
Amateur baseball is one of Minnesota's great sporting traditions. The state tournament brings together hundreds of communities in late summer at great ballparks all around the state. Coverage of every game can be found on PrepSpotlight.tv. PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of today's state tournament game is made possible by the Minnesota Baseball Association, and also with help from the Minnesota Twins. Celebrate Townball with the Twins on September 11th. Visit twinsbaseball.com/townball for details. Now let's get to the ballpark.
Jordan Joseph, the 3-hitter in the order. Grounded out, unassisted to Nate Lee at first base to end the top half of the first inning, and then hit a sacrifice fly, an RBI, out into right field in his second plate appearance. So leading off here, the 6th, spins away from a fastball that just misses inside. 2 runs, 5 hits, errorless ball for the Kimball Express. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 error for Union Hill. Skied to right, and having trouble with it out there is Kreutzen, and he misses it. So that wind really wreaking havoc with that ball out there. Kreutzen looking up into this high sky. Not much of a cloud cover today, and that one falls in, and they officially are going to score that a double. So the wind just kept pushing that ball further and further over. It was fairly well hit out there, but Kreutzen got there, stuck the glove up, looked like he was going to make the play, and it just eluded his glove. So on the leadoff double, Joseph is in second, first pitch swinging. Johnson pops one up in the infield. Charging in, calling for it, and making the catch is Joe Becker. So Johnson goes back to the dugout, unhappy with himself on there. He had a job to do. His job should have been to get that ball to the right side of the diamond and move Jordan Joseph up 90 feet for his number 5 hitter, Scott Marquardt. But first pitch swinging, Johnson just popped that one up in the infield to third base. And Becker was able to make the play and keep Jordan Joseph out there at second base. And now strike on the outside corner to Scott Marquardt. Marquardt has singled and scored in the second. Struck out leading off the fourth. He requests time. Now, finally, the umpire does grant it to him. He was going to wait. I think if Massberg would have gone into his motion, I don't think he was going to grant that time. But then as Massberg held onto that ball just a little bit longer, Finally, the home plate umpire granted the time to Marquardt. Line drive into right center field, drifting over, getting under it, and making the catch is Adam Geeson. So Marquardt hit it well, but drifting over a couple of steps to his left. Adam Geeson was able to get underneath that one, make a catch about waist high going down to a knee. Joseph had to retreat back to second base, so after the leadoff double now, 2 quick outs, and Massburg and Union Hill will try to keep this at just a 2-run deficit here in the top half of the 6th inning. And Adam Byer fouls one back and out of play. Byer had a little seeing eye, ground ball single to left field back in the 2nd inning and struck out in the 4th. Curveball stays up high. Byer spins away from that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Byer trying to pick up Joseph out there at second base. He's got a good lead. They're really not holding him on. Rolls one over here down the third base line, but foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Byer got out on that front foot and just rolled that one over, but fortunately for him, pulled it just foul. So he'll get another pitch here at 1-2. Big lead out there at second base for Joseph. That one spins Byer around a little bit. Able to get out of the way of that fastball, riding up and in on him. Run the count even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. With that lead out there at second, Joseph certainly would be able to score on any base hit to the outfield, one would imagine. And the curveball misses in the dirt. Good job of blocking that one by Jack Geeson. So full count now. And that one misses low. So with first base open, really didn't want to challenge Byer there. Curveballs on 2-2 and 3-2, both in the dirt. They'll take their chances with Cade Marquardt, the catcher here. One of 3 Marquardts in the lineup, and actually they alternate. So you got a Marquardt, then another batter, then a Marquardt, then another batter, then a Marquardt. So, and catches the outside corner with a fastball there. Good pitch there. Get this at-bat started by Massburg. Not a lot that Cade Marquardt would have been able to do with that pitch. Scoring will be at a premium here today with this wind blowing in straight from center field. It's got to be blowing a good 10 to 15 miles an hour in from center field. So those outfielders should be able to creep in a little bit and cut off some balls. Oh, humpback liner out into center field. Here comes Joseph around third. Geeson's throw will go through to the plate. Missed the cutoff, but it came through enough where the runners were not able to move up the base on the throw. But Jordan Joseph does come around to score on the single by the catcher, Cade Marquardt. He didn't sting that ball by any stretch of the imagination, but just got enough of it to get it out into center field. Adam Geeson charged. Made a throw. It was well up the first base line. Nate Lee tried to cut it off, unable to do so, but it got to the catcher, Jack Geeson, so quickly that the runners were not able to move up another base, and we're going to get a pitching change. That's going to do it for Conrad Massburg. He'll depart with 2 outs here in the top half of the 6th inning. He'll give up 3 runs on 7 hits for now. He is responsible for the 2 base runners out there at first and second. So new pitcher coming in for Union Hill. It's going to be one of their drafted players. The left-hander, number 7, Ross Beamer, who will come in with 2 away here Top half of the sixth. Big 2-out RBI single from Cade Marquardt has given the Kimball Express a 3-0 lead over the Union Hill Bulldogs here in this first of 4 state tournament games from Lions Field in Waconia. And as Beamer takes his warm-up pitches, we'll take a quick break and be back to Waconia after this brief timeout.
Nobody does high school sports like PrepSpotlight.tv. Your home for Minnesota State tournament action is also where you can find the best weekly action during the regular season in 2021. We make it easy to be a high school sports fan at PrepSpotlight.tv.
All right, so the left-hander, Beamer, will come in and face the left-hander, Zach Dingman, the designated hitter, trying to get a number out there. I think we have a pinch runner out at second base for Byer. I think I saw number 35 for Kimball heading out there. That's Shugs Hannon as a pop-up drifting foul and continuing to drift. And as we talked about, that wind is going to wreak havoc with these balls, as giving chase over there was the shortstop Berg. It was a long run. He tried to make an underhanded basket running catch, but the wind just kept pushing that ball further and further into foul territory, and Berg was unable to get there and make the play. So it's a foul ball off the bat of Dingman, so no balls and 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. So Beamer gets the strikeout as Dingman checks with the home plate umpire to see if that pitch was a strike that he swung at for strike 3. Not sure what the umpire was going to tell him, but the point is moot because he swung and missed, and that was strike 3 and ending the top half of the 6th inning. But the Kimball Express pick up another 1 run. They got 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, now 1 here in the 6th. Lead at 3-0, and they'll hand it back to Ben Johnson, who will face Conrad Massberg, Nate Berg, and Nate Lee. They had Massberg listed as the pitcher and the designated hitter, so even though he got replaced on the pitching rubber, he will continue to stay in the game as the designated hitter and take his turn at bat against Ben Johnson. So we got a re-entry. So we did have a pinch running situation. Number 35, Shugs Hannon, ran out there for Adam Byer, but now Byer will re-enter into the lineup and take his position at first base. So in amateur ball, they do allow the re-entry. College and professional baseball, once you are out of the game, you're out of the game. But in high school and Legion and here in amateur ball, you do have 1 opportunity to re-enter into the lineup after being pulled either for a pinch hitter or defensively, or in this case a pinch running situation. So Mossberg will step in. Face Johnson, who's allowed just 2 hits on the game. He has walked 2 batters as well. First pitch misses up high. All 4 of those base runners have happened in 2 innings. So 2 base runners in the 2nd, 2 base runners in the 5th. Otherwise, the 1st, 3rd, and 4th were clean 1, 2, 3 innings for Ben Johnson, as he misses low and in to Mossberg here. Challenges Mossberg with a fastball, and Mossberg fouls it straight back to the screen. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Johnson, when he gets behind 2-0, has not been afraid to challenge these Union Hill Bulldogs with a fastball. And so far won the battle. Now Mossberg just drops the barrel of the bat on that one and lines it into center field for a base hit. So leadoff Runner is on for Union Hill here, trying to get something going against Ben Johnson and the Kimball Express. They trail it by 3, but do have their leadoff batter on. Second time today that they've been able to get a leadoff runner on base to start an inning. Nate Lee led off the second with a base hit, but here is a tailor-made double play opportunity, but a little bit too slow of a roller to turn the 2. So Joseph got it, tossed her to Scott Marquardt, and they got the force, but the ball just was not hit quite hard enough. I thought maybe it was hit a little bit harder than that, and they would have an opportunity to turn 2, but the ball just kept kind of dribbling its way out towards second base. It was hit towards the base, and as the fielders, that's exactly what you want. That's a tailor-made double play ball with your momentum going right towards second base. But in this case, it was just hit a little too slowly for Scott Marquardt to be able to make the turn. So he ate the throw rather than throw it away. So Berg reaches on the fielder's choice. Mossberg is out 6-4 on the force. Curveball is in for a strike, and then the next one dropping down sidearm, missing just off the inside corner. Was Johnson there? I think he might have fooled the home plate umpire with that one. That looked like a good pitch from up here, but Nate Lee gets the benefit of the call, evens it up at a ball and a strike. Now that one is off the outside corner, and Johnson gets the call there. So I'm not a big believer in makeup calls, but the count is 1-2, and based on those 3 pitches, that's about what I thought the count should be. So we'll play at 1-2, and now a swing and a miss. Foul tip into the glove, held on to by Cade Marquardt. So going upstairs with the fastball, Johnson gets Lee for the second consecutive time. So after Lee led off the second with a base hit, he struck out in the 4th and now struck out here in the 6th against Johnson. Strikeout number 6 in the game for Johnson. 2 away now. Berg stays there at first base, and Adam Geeson, center fielder, steps in. Fairly good lead off of first for Berg. Curveball misses inside, so 2 balls and no strikes now to Geeson. And boy, when Johnson's missing with that breaking ball, he's not missing by much. That one just stayed in off the inside corner, so 2-0. Now he hits him. Came 2-0 curveball and just kind of lost it a little bit. Spinning out of the way was Geeson, but it just kept spinning. Really didn't have that sharp break that we've seen out of Johnson's curveball today, and that one just kept riding in on Geeson and clipped him. And so now, for the 3rd time, Union Hill has 2 base runners on, and we're going to get a pinch hitter here for Kreutzen. Jack Becker is going to hit for Kreutzen here. Big spot for the pinch hitter, Jack Becker. Runners are at first and second. There's 2 away. So a base hit and a hit batsman has given Union Hill a couple of base runners here. They're trying to get on the board. Becker, first pitch he sees from Johnson is a perfect pitch. Outside corner at the knees. Nothing Becker could do with that one. Just let it go by and live for a better one on the next one maybe. But no balls and 1 strike now to the pinch hitter. Lifts one high in the infield. It's going to drift. It's going to head towards the base. The ball, the runner, and the fielder all get to the base at exactly the same time, but Adam Pyer keeps his concentration and pulls that one in, even as the runner Becker, the pop fly, and the fielder all kind of congregated at the base at the same exact time. Excellent concentration from the first baseman Pyer to follow that one into the glove. And once again, Johnson is able to strand 2 Union Hill base runners and get through the bottom half of the 6th inning unscathed. We're through 6. Kimball leads Union Hall 3-0, and they'll try to add to it as Beamer comes out for his first full inning of work. State amateur tournaments are now in full swing. The Class B and C tournaments will be played out over the next 3 weeks in Waconia, Chaska, and Hamburg. Get out and support your community, or if you just love the game of baseball and want to watch win or go home games at fantastic venues, there is nothing like tournament time. If you can't make it to the games, prepspotlight.tv/townball has packages that will make watching all the venues very affordable. Enjoy the tournament at the park or here on prepspotlight.tv. Brooks Marquardt, the center fielder, faces the left-handed Beamer. Beamer pitches for Lonsdale during the regular season, but was drafted here. Now a line drive that just goes off the glove of the first baseman, Lee. Trickles out into right field for a base hit. So in the 9 spot of the order, Brooks Marquardt with 2 base hits. He scored the second run of the game for Kimball, scoring on the sacrifice fly off the bat of Jordan Joseph, and now he gets a leadoff base runner. So as a hard line drive headed towards right field, Lee reached up, tried to snare it out of the air, but it just caught the end of his glove. Now here's Rulli with another one of those good bunts up the line, but this time Beamer is able to get off the mound, win the race to the ball, underhand toss it to the first baseman, Lee covering, but another excellent execution of the bunt by Austin Rulli. They'll get that runner out into scoring position for Kimball. 1-3 on the sacrifice for Rulli. 2 for 3 on the day now for Rulli, the leadoff hitter. And Friesen, the number 2 hitter, and that one gets past the catcher there. It just crossed up Geeson. That was not in the dirt or anywhere low, so I think that one's going to be charged as a pass ball against Geeson, and a very important pass ball there, as that allows the base runner, Brooks Marquardt, to move up into third base, and now he can score in a number of different varieties of ways off the bat of Friesen, or another one that might sneak past Geeson into the backstop. So very important base for the Kimball Express there, as Beamer misses up high and now fires one right across. Infield is in for Union Hill. They need to try to cut off this run. They're already down by 3, and it's the top half of the 7th inning, so they will play the infield in here and try to cut that runner down, trying to score from home on any ball hit in the infield, as the pitch is on the outside corner for a strike to Friesen. Friesen has struck out twice, and they had a sacrifice bunt, so 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And now the third strikeout is a foul tip to the glove of Geeson. Big strikeout for Beamer and the Bulldogs there, as the infield will now be able to retreat back to normal defensive positions and try to get out of this inning unscathed. So Friesen got ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes, and then watched 2 fastballs right down the middle. Not very aggressive at the plate there. 2-0, I think you should be looking for something to drive, especially with the infield in, but I don't know if Friesen got fooled by the delivery of the left-hander or what happened, but he watched 2 strikes go by and then went after a high fastball. Now ground ball to second, down to a knee, and up with it is Jacob Becker, and he'll throw out Joseph and get Union Hill out of that jam. Kimball put a runner at third with just one away, but they're unable to add that additional run to their lead. The lead will stay at 3-0, as we have completed 6.5 innings of play. We'll see if they trot Ben Johnson out there. He's got a 3-hit shutout going at this point. He'll try to give them another inning here in the state tournament. So 3-0 for the Express over the Bulldogs of Union Hill, and back to Waconia after this timeout on PrepSpotlight.tv.
All summer long, you have gathered with friends, neighbors, and family at ball yards all across Minnesota.
Still going, gone! A home run!
Diamonds that decorate and help define hundreds of communities. Town Ball binds together our passion for baseball in our hometowns. And on September 11th, the cornerstone of Minnesota baseball, Target Field, will host a party for all those who play, watch, and support Town Ball. The Twins host the Royals at 6:10 p.m. Prior to the game, the newly crowned state amateur champs will be honored at the Town Ball Tavern and during a pregame ceremony. Wear your team colors and enjoy a special night at Target Field.
The 0-2 pitch. Strike three! Fairmont, state champions in 2020.
To the Fairmont Martins. They are your 2020.
For tickets to the Twins' Tip of the Cap to Town Ball on September 11th, visit twinsbaseball.com/townball.
Jacob Becker will start it off. Little two-hop grounder. Nice play over there by the third baseman Hoffman. He scoops it up and on the run makes an on-target throw to Adam Byer. One pitch, one out here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Union Hill looking to try to figure out Ben Johnson here. 3-hit shutout going so far for Johnson. He's been aided by the fact that there is a big 0 under the errors column by Kimball. Boy, the plays that have been there to be made, Kimball has made them this afternoon. 1 error listed against Union Hill, but there were another couple of other balls that they potentially could have turned into outs that they weren't able to execute. So right now it's been Kimball who has been more efficient defensively and also efficient on the pitching rubber as Johnson gets ahead of Geeson. No balls and 2 strikes on a couple of called strikes. And tries to spin a 12-6 curveball in there, but that one misses. And now he does spin a curve, and it just misses off the inside corner. So umpire's been very consistent with that call today. He has not given that inside corner strike on the curveball to either of these pitchers. And now up and away with the next one. So after falling behind, no balls and 2 strikes, Jack Geeson right back in this at-bat at 3 balls and 2 strikes. He walked in the 5th, made it as far as 2nd. Now shoots one down the right field line. That's going to get down for a base hit. Going over to cut it off. And a big turn and scampering back and making it in safely is Geeson. He thought about going to 2nd as Tommy Friesen hustled over there and cut that ball off down the right field line. Discretion, the better part of valor there for Geeson, as Friesen probably would have had a chance to throw him out, trying to stretch that into a double. And right now, down by 3 runs, the base runner is far more important than just a single base here for Union Hill. So he slammed the brakes on and scampered back to first base, dove in just ahead of the throw from Scott Marquardt, who had cut that ball off from Friesen in right field. And before Adam Byer could apply the tag, Geeson was back in. Now Geeson's really playing some games over there with his lead at first base, kind of doing a little Texas two-step over there, trying to break Johnson's attention, I think. Now a little bit more, a little bit of a dance, but Johnson spins in a curveball to Derek Mossberg, left fielder, number 9 hitter in the order. Mossberg struck out in the 3rd, singled in the 5th, but was stranded right there when Becker grounded out to 2nd. There's a pop-up foul, but that's going to get well out of play, and that's that ball that's going to really get pushed by the wind as well. And Byer gave chase, but really no chance on that one. Landed well foul past the pavilion area. Again, great crowd here today. What a weekend it's been for baseball. And that one gets in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher, Cade Marquardt, and back to the screen. So moving up a base is Geeson. So with one away, he's out there now at second base for Derek Mossberg. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Johnson tried to get Mossberg to chase something out of the zone there, but threw that one in the dirt, and it got past Cade Marquardt. He drops down, a little defensive swing, ground ball to short. Joseph is up with it, makes a good throw across the diamond. And we'll get Mossberg on the play. Geeson does move up to third. So no chance to make any play on the base runner there, but a good smart play by Joseph there. Just take your out at first, as we've made mention. Kimball has really made all the plays defensively that they've been asked to make today. Strike on the outside corner to Becker. So again, Becker with another opportunity here to drive in a run. He was batting with runners at first and second in the 5th. Line drive, just foul diving attempt by Byer over there, but just eluded his glove foul. So he's in a position kind of protecting that line. So if that ball would have been fair, I think Byer probably has a chance to make that catch, but because it was wide, foul of the bag, just unable to get that big first baseman's trapper's mitt on that line drive. So no balls, 2 strikes. Becker over the top, right back, it hits off Becker. He's going to hustle, and his toss to first is in time. So Becker will limp off the mound a little bit. I think he's going to be okay, but that ball ricocheted hard off of his leg. He pounced on it. Didn't fire a hard strike over to first, but got enough on the throw to get Becker by a step and thwart another rally potential for Union Hill. They strand another base runner. That's 7 left on base now through 7 innings of play by Union Hill, and they remain scoreless on the board. Kimball will come up here for the top half of the 8th inning. They lead it 3-0. They'll try to add to that here with Ben Johnson, Scott Marquardt, and Adam Byer in the top half of the 8th inning. It'll be Ross Beamer out there for his second full inning of work. He came in and got the final out in the 6th, and then was able to get out of the 7th, stranding a base runner at third base with just 1 out. Try to keep this a 3-run ball game, so he'll come out for 1 more inning of work. He'll face Johnson.
Neighbors and family at ball yards all across Minnesota.
Still going, gone, a home run.
Diamonds that decorate hundreds of communities. Town Ball binds together our passion for baseball and our hometowns. And on September 11th, the cornerstone of Minnesota baseball, Target Field, will host a party for all those who play, watch, and support Town Ball. The Twins host the Royals at 6:10 p.m. Prior to the game, the newly crowned state amateur champs will be honored at the Town Ball Tavern and during a pre.
Number 34, Adam Meyer.
All right, I think we're back here, fans. The ball back to the pitcher. He'll look back. That's off the bat of Marquardt. Adam Beyer, as Ben Johnson led this inning off. Hit a ground ball, one hopper to third. With the third baseman Becker threw high. Johnson slid underneath the attempted tag from Nate Lee. Was moved up to second on a sacrifice bunt that went 5-3. He's at second, and then Beyer hit one right back to the pitcher that Beamer handled. And threw out, so now two away, runner at second. Cade Marquardt is the batter. He had a big two-out RBI single in his last at-bat, and another opportunity here to drive in another run. And ground ball, wide to short. No play there. It was too slowly hit for Berg to try to make a play. Berg made the smart play there, actually. Held on to that ball. Actually ran his way towards Johnson at third, thinking he might round the base. So ate the ball there. The runner's at first and third now. And looks like we're going to have pinch hitter coming here for Kimball. And number 9 for the Express is going to hit for Dingman. So Dingman, the lefty, will be pulled for the right-hander here. Interestingly enough, it's another Dingman. So Zach Dingman will give way to Matt Dingman. And he will have an opportunity to potentially drive in a run. Got runners at first and third. Two away here in the 8th. Johnson reached on the throwing error from the third baseman Becker, moved up on the sacrifice bunt, and now has moved to third base on the infield single. Out the bat of Cade Marquardt. Marquardt's second hit of the ball game. 9th of the game for Kimball. And 1 ball and 1 strike as Dingman swings through the 1 ball, no strike offering, and then loops one foul down the left field line. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. I think Dingman thinks he broke his bat there on that swing. Dingman, also a veteran here, 32 years old. Played his ball at St. Thomas. Probably played for a number of winning teams for the Tommies down in St. Paul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There goes the runner. Curveball is swung on and fouled back to the screen. Dingman not happy with himself there. He got a hanging curveball. Tried to stay back as long as he could, but just got out on that front foot and fouled it back to the screen. So on the pitch, Cade Marquardt took off for second base. But Dingman fouled it to the screen, and now we'll have to start over here, redo it at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner goes again, and another foul. Backing out of play. Geeson throws off the mask and gives chase, but no chance to get that one, especially with the wind pushing it further and further into foul territory. That ball was going to be out of play right off the bat regardless. So we stay right here, 1 ball, 2 strikes, trying to wear out Cade Marquardt there. He takes off again, and a chopper is fouled on the third baseline. So battle going here between Ross Beamer and Matt Dingman. 4 consecutive foul balls off the bat of Dingman. So Beamer has just not been able to put Dingman away at this point, but Dingman also has not been able to put the ball in play yet either, so we'll try it again. At 1 and 2, Marquardt again takes off in a swing and a foul and just off the glove of Geeson. It'll be interesting to see if they try to make a play on Marquardt, because he's really not getting much of a lead and he's not getting much of a jump. If I were Union Hill, I would call a pitch out here and just throw the runner out at second base, because he's really not taking off as if he's trying to steal the base. It's almost kind of like a hit and run situation. But if you threw a pitch out here, I think Geeson could easily throw out Marquardt, because he's not even looking to steal the base. He was just trotting his way, but Union Hill decides to give up the base. Marquardt really was looking in at home plate the whole time that he was running to second, so they just made the decision that they weren't going to take the chance that that run might score from third if they try to throw the runner out. They'll deal with the pinch hitter, Matt Dingman, who fouls another pitch off back to the screen. So now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 away here in the 8th. 2 big runners standing out there on the base paths for Kimball. Dingman could find a way to get one to the outfield. That might be the backbreaker for the Union Hill Bulldogs, as Beamer misses up high with the 2-2 offering. So now we're full at 3 and 2. And that strike 3 called on the outside corner. Matt Dingman unhappy with the call from our home plate umpire there. He shakes his head, gives a word as he walks past the umpire, but the umpire pointed right at home plate, said outside corner at the letter, strike 3. So a big strikeout for Beamer and the Union Hill Bulldogs there as they strand 2 would-be base runners. Runs 4 and potentially 5 for Johnson. That would have been a big hill to climb for Union Hill if they would have got those 2 runs across. But instead, the strikeout of Dingman keeps this at just a 3-run ball game. And Union Hill with a couple of more cracks at Ben Johnson. And we'll see what they can do here with the bottom half of the 8th inning. Conrad Mossberg, Nathan Berg, and Nate Lee will face Johnson when we return to Waconia after this timeout.
Nobody does high school sports like PrepSpotlight.tv. Your home for Minnesota State tournament action is also where you can find the best weekly action during the regular season in 2021. We make it easy to be a high school sports fan at PrepSpotlight.tv.
Conrad Mossberg will try to get things going here in the 8th. Fooled on that first offering. Curveball that was diving in out of his back foot, and he tried to check his swing up, but was way too committed. Swung through it. No balls and 1 strike. Harcourt got things going for Union Hill in the 6th. He led off with a single. He was forced out at second, but then Nathan Berg made it as far as second base after Adam Geeson was hit by a pitch, but on a foul pop-up. The 3rd out was recorded off the bat of the pinch hitter Jack Becker, and Johnson and Kimball were able to get out of that inning. 2 balls and 1 strike now. Line drive, base hit into center field. So Conrad Mossberg for the 2nd time here singles to lead off the inning for Union Hill. Get something going here. Nathan Berg. Berg has struck out twice and grounded into a fielder's choice in the 6th. So see if he can't get on base here and get a little bit more of a rally with nobody out. They've had a couple of runners on base in 3 different innings, but each time it was after a couple outs had been recorded. So now an opportunity maybe to get a couple on base here without any outs, and the first pitch misses. Now curveball is in there for a strike. One ball, 1 strike now to Berg. Mossberg, not much of a lead over there at first base. Don't expect him to be going anywhere. Curveball is turned on and hooked foul, but that's kind of the one we talked about earlier in the game. Anything that's hooking down that left field line is really just going to carry with that wind. So you almost have to start that ball 20, 30 feet fair inside the line if you're going to hook it down that left field line for it to stay fair. So it's just a loud strike down the left field line. And a swing and a miss, so Berg strikes out for the 3rd time this afternoon. He'll walk back to the dugout. Johnson went upstairs on Berg there, got him to chase after that high fastball. And now Nate Lee will step in. He's been a strikeout victim of Ben Johnson on 2 separate occasions after he singled leading off the 2nd. Seven strikeouts now for Johnson on the game, and starts off Lee with a called strike. no balls and 1 strike to the number 4 hitter in the lineup. Johnson again drops down. Curveball drifts well outside the strike zone. 1 ball and 1 strike now to the number 4 hitter in the lineup for Union Hill, Nate Lee. Curveball stays inside. Lee very confidently watched that one go by, so I think he feels good about how he's got Johnson timed up, just looking to get a good pitch to hit here. That curveball started in right on his hip, but he just stayed right there solid. That one comes across the middle. That one fooled him a little bit. You could see him grimace a little bit. Umpire called that one a strike. I think that was a pitch he was not expecting at that count at 2-1. But Johnson was able to spin that one in and even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mossberg short lead at first. Ground ball, foul. Once again, Johnson dropped that arm delivery down, release point. Tried to spin that curveball down into the knees of Nate Lee, but Lee spoiled that one off. Just grounded it wide of the bag at 3rd. So stays alive here at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shallow fly ball into right field. Coming on hard is Friesen, and he gets under it and makes the catch. So that ball was not all that hard hit, but Friesen got an excellent jump on that ball out there in his right field position, got under it, and made the catch. Two away now here in the 8th. And Adam Geeson steps in. Geeson's had just one official at-bat today. He laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd, lined out to Scott Marquardt in the 4th, and then was hit by a pitch in the 6th. Strike at the letters. After missing on the first offering, Johnson now evens the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. Big 0 on the board for Kimball. No runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. Fly ball, left field. It's going to drift into foul territory, but plenty of time for Austin Ruley to get under that one and make the catch. So after the leadoff single to start the 8th inning, a strikeout and consecutive flyouts, 1 to right and 1 to left, and Ben Johnson has hung another 0 up on the board for the Kimball Express. We're through 8. Kimball leads this one 1-0, and back to Waconia for the top of the 9th after this timeout on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Town Ball Tour. Head to the small towns and tell people what it's all about.
A lot of excitement. Weather is fantastic.
This place has been here since the early 80s.
This is a baseball town.
The town is here. The kids are here. It's safe. It's a wonderful environment.
We certainly met some wonderful characters.
Thanks for joining us for another season of Fox 9's Town Ball Tour.
Oh yeah, wrong guy. First ad? F-J-E-R.
Your batter is number 3, Brooks Marquardt.
A new pitcher on the rubber for Union Hill. They'll go to their other drafted Lonsdale player, Adam Firstad. He will face Brooks Marquardt, who's had a heck of a day in the 9-hole for the Kimball Express. 2 hits and 3 at-bats, scored a run. Made it to 3rd with just 1 out in the 7th, but was stranded there. Now takes a strike from Firstad. Another strike called. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 1/3 innings for Ross Beamer. Did not give up any runs. In fact, took over in a tough spot with runners at 1st and 2nd, but was able to get out of it. Then he stranded a runner at 3rd. in the 7th inning and stranded runners at second and third with a big strikeout in the 8th. So good effort from Beamer. Keep the score right here. Oh, snaring a little two-hop ground ball is Joe Becker, and he makes a good strong throw this time across the diamond to Lee. And they get Marquardt. So 2 singles and 2 ground outs to third base. Single 5-3, single 5-3 is the line score for Brooks Marquardt, but 2 hits out of that number 9 hole. Kimball will take that all tournament long. Turn the order over to Austin Ruley. Jumps out of the way of a fastball, riding in on his feet. 1 ball and no strikes now to the leadoff hitter. Ruley 2 for 3 on the day. Slices 1 foul, but that's going to just keep getting pushed further and further towards the fence. Lots and lots of room down the foul lines here at Lions Field in Waconia. The fence kind of goes straight down from the dugout and then works its way back towards the foul line as you get closer and closer to the fence. But just past the dugout down the lines, there is a lot of room out there. So we're going to foul back to the screen by Ruley. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now to Ruley, 1 and 2. Scoreboard now has it updated. Ooh, thought about chasing after that high fastball, but held up his swing. Right there at 2 balls and 2 strikes now on the leadoff hitter for Kimball. And a swing and a miss. Strikeout for Firstad. And 2 quick outs here in the top half of the 9th inning. Kimball leads this one 3-0. They look to advance in this state tournament. It's win or go home for each of these 48 teams in this state tournament. If Kimball were to hang on, they will play next weekend, while Union Hill will see their season come to a close. And now Friesen swings and misses at the 0-1 offering, so no balls and 2 strikes. Shoots one out into left field, drifting back and making a good running catch over the shoulder is Derek Mossberg out there in left field. So Friesen gave it a little bit of a ride the opposite way to left field, but a 1-2-3 inning from the 3rd pitcher in the game, Adam Firstad, for Union Hill. Keeps this one at a 3-run ball game. 1 more shot for Union Hill to try to crack the code that has been Ben Johnson today for the Kimball Express. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. So Croyton was the scheduled hitter. He in this position. He was pinch hit for by Jack Becker. And it looks like we may have another pinch hitter coming up for Union Hill. I see number 2, left-hander Matt Collins holding a bat. I think it's going to be the left-hander Collins, although no, I do see also Jack Becker, number 22, is walking towards. So it is going to be Becker who will go ahead and hit for himself. Jacob Becker is the scheduled next hitter, but that's where Matt Collins, the left-hander, has a bat in hand. So probably going to get a pinch hitter in that spot in the order, but now it's going to be Becker to face Johnson, and his fastball runs away out of the zone. 1 ball, no strikes. Becker try to scratch and claw any way to get on base here. Union Hill needs a couple of base runners at least. And then they would have to find some gaps, because I'm just telling you, it's going to be really, really difficult for anybody to lift one up and out of Lions Field today with that wind blowing straight in from center field. Foul ball backing out of play. Now another defensive swing by Becker. Makes it a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Possible last chance for Union Hill here in the 9th inning. Another foul ball backing out of play, so Jack Becker continues to battle with Ben Johnson here, who's gone all the way. It's been a 5-hit shutout. We've mentioned it more than once, that 0 in the errors column for Kimball, really kind of partially the difference in the game. Oh, he really drops down and tries to sneak one past Becker, and Cade Marquardt can't even get his glove out there close to that one. It goes all the way to the backstop, so a little bit of a waste pitch for Johnson there, but changing up that delivery point, keeping those hitters off balance. He does it again, and this time he gets it for a swinging strike. So not sure if Johnson was looking to set up Becker with that pitch that got away from him a little bit, or if it just kind of worked out in his favor that way. But he dropped down again, and boy, when he does that to a right-handed batter, that ball has to seem like it gets on top of you in just an instant. So first out is a strikeout, and as we talked about, it looks like Matt Collins is going to be the pinch hitter here for Jacob Becker. And a strike right across to Collins. And a swing and a foul back to the screen, so Johnson's ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball towards the hole, but it's cut off by Hoffman. He pulls the first baseman Byer off the bag, but he's able to stick his toe out and clip the bag as the pinch hitter Collins is running down the line, and he gets just enough of the base to get that out call from the first base umpire. So now Jack Geeson will represent potentially the last opportunity for Union Hill to get something going here. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Ben Johnson has been dealing. Ground ball fouled on the first base line, so Johnson doing his job here. 3-run lead, bottom of the 9th. Throw strikes, get ahead of those batters. No free passes here. If Union Hill is going to make a comeback, Johnson's going to make them earn it. So he's just been firing strikes across there, and he got the first 2 batters. After a battle with Jack Becker, he won it with the strikeout, and then got Collins to ground out on a good play by the third baseman Hoffman. Now a swing and a foul back and out of play for Geeson, who's been on base twice. He's walked and singled, so 1 for 2 on the day, but behind in the count, 0-2, Union Hill down to their last strike, and they use it up right there, and Ben Johnson on the strikeout, strikes out 2 in the last half of the 9th inning, and advances the Kimball Express into the next round of the Class C Minnesota Amateur State Baseball Tournament. Excellent pitching performance by Ben Johnson of the Kimball Express. He was helped with excellent defense behind him today. Kimball made all the plays that they were asked to make. A flawless game and no errors. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Kimball, no runs, 5 hits, and the 2 errors for Union Hill. So Kimball advances on in the tournament. They will play next weekend, and Union Hill will call it a season. They'll head back home after a successful season, making it to the state tournament. But the Kimball Express will take on the Alexandria Black Sox Saturday, August 28th at 4:30 right here in Waconia. So an excellent pitching performance by Ben Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the player of the game, Ben Johnson from the Kimball Express.
9 strikeouts for Johnson. We're going to have an interview with him. We'll let you listen in on the interview of Ben Johnson and come back and wrap this one up for you.
36 pitches, 10 Ks, a complete game. How are you feeling about that performance? Too many pitches. Tell us about the defense behind you. Kimball is no stranger to the state tournament. You had a great run up to this point. What's the feeling in the dugout? Pretty nice, just small strikes. Awesome. And you got a big run ahead of you guys. The Express again, no strangers. What are the next steps here to move forward for this team? Everybody, that's Ben Johnson, your player of the game. Moving on.
All right, so player of the game, Ben Johnson. 5-hit shutout, 10 strikeouts officially for Johnson. And the Kimball Express will advance into the second round of the State Class C baseball tournament. They'll play the Alexandria Black Sox, the top seed coming out of the Region 16A. The Alexandria Black Sox and the Kimball Express right here, 4:30 next Saturday at Waconia. Great ball game for you here to start things off. 3 more on tap here if you've got the entire package. We'll be right back with you. Scheduled for a 1:30 first pitch here. It will be, let's check our bracket. 1:30 at Waconia, the Fergus Falls Hurricanes and the Hanska Lakers. Winner of that one takes on the St. Martin Martins. But first and foremost, it'll be Fergus Falls and Hanska, scheduled 1:30 pitch next. So we'll wrap this one up for you. Ben Johnson, player of the game, 5-hit shutout performance, 10 strikeouts. He pitches his Kimball Express into the second round of the state tournament, and they'll live to play another day. That'll do it on the season for Union Hill, but an excellent season once again qualifying here for this state tournament. But for our production crew here at Waconia for game number 1, we'll wrap things up here and we will be back with the call of the next game for you after they get the field prepared. So thank you for tuning in, and from Waconia we wish you a good afternoon.
Amateur baseball is one of Minnesota's great sporting traditions. The state tournament brings together hundreds of communities in late summer at great ballparks all around the state. Coverage of every game can be found on PrepSpotlight.tv. PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of today's state tournament game is made possible by the Minnesota Baseball Association, and also with help from the Minnesota Twins. Celebrate Townball with the Twins on September 11th. Visit twinsbaseball.com/townball for details. Now let's get to the ballpark.